We'll now begin open session again. Michael, would you report out on the closed session?
Yes, this, all I need to report is that the council conferred with legal counsel, the members of the staff, and about a matter of future litigation, discussed the matter, but took no other report to that.
Thank you, Michael. All right, we'll go ahead and go business from the public. Business from the public not on the agenda. Any member of the public may address the council for a period not to exceed 3 minutes on any item not on the agenda. The council will listen to all communications, but will take no action and make no comment.
There's no one.
No one in the council chambers?
No,
What? All right, Marisol, do we have anyone via Zoom?
No comments via Zoom. No comments via email.
No comments via email. Thank you, Mary. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that part of the meeting and bring it back to regular agenda items. So under item number 14, consider approval of resolution number 2024-72, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales declaring canvass of returns and results of the consolidated general municipal election held on November 5th, 2024. Staff report.
All right, I won't belabor this point. You know that we go through this after every election. We receive the certified results of the election, and then we adopt a resolution that states the results of the election as received in the certified canvas of the election results, and then basically have you accept that by way of the resolution that we have before you. Just for the interest of other public, I mean, this was already known because of the fact that we had only a few folks running, but obviously the incumbent Mayor Rios won the election. The incumbent council member, Scott, won for the newly created district seat in District 2. So that's sort of interesting and exciting. And the very first district election we've had, we now have a representative that is a district election, representative. And then unfortunately, as we've heard a couple of times already in the last couple of meetings, measure has failed. So, but we did receive the results on, I believe, November 5th by way of email. Is that right? Or we got them earlier than that, but we received the hard copy on November 5th. Typically, the way that the statute reads is that you're supposed to hold a meeting, either a special meeting or at your next regular meeting after you receive the results. Our next meeting isn't until January 13th. So I at least wanted us to go ahead and accept the canvas that we received, the certified canvas, and then adopt the resolution. And then at the meeting on January 13th, we'll actually do the oath of office and so forth. And then the council can also consider if you want to do things like change the mayor pro tem or rearrange your seating arrangements or do whatever it is that you want to do. But we'll delay that until the meeting on the 13th. It also seemed appropriate given the fact that Councilmember Funquist is not going to be here tonight. So.
Was it? You got a lot of votes?
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, edge of my seat. No, I feel very, very blessed and honored that I guess the public had a little confidence in me and didn't have anyone run against me. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on this item may now do so for a period not to exceed 3 minutes. And seeing no one rushing to the podium, then I will go ahead and ask Marisol. Marisol, do we have anyone via Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Thank you. Mary, any comments via email?
No comments via email.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and close the public comment period, bring it back to council, either discussion or I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt resolution number 2024-72 and direct the city clerk to agendize the administration of the oath of office to the elected incumbents Jose Rios and Scott Funk at our next regularly scheduled council meeting on January 13th, 2025.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All righty, moving on to the last item here on the list. I'm hoping by the next time I come back here, I won't even need these glasses, but we'll
Mayor,
see.
you want me to read it in, just what the resolution is? I can do that.
Would you please?
Sure. So the next item that you have on your agenda item number 5 is a resolution number 2024-73, declaring an emergency and authorizing emergency work at the city wastewater treatment plant in an amount not to exceed $950,000.
Alrighty, staff report.
Mayor Rios, council members, sorry, I thought we were still on the last item.
No,
Sorry.
we moved on.
Good evening, Mayor Rios, council members. This item is to authorize emergency work at the wastewater treatment plant to construct an additional disposal pond in the amount not to exceed $950,000. I want to mention that we're joined by our via Zoom is Megan Panofsky of MNS Engineers. She is our construction manager on our industrial wastewater program and our wastewater program, and has been assisting staff on this endeavor. So as mentioned in the staff report, for the last 6 weeks, the wastewater treatment plant has been struggling to treat and dispose of wastewater for several reasons. As you're aware, the last 2 winters had much higher than average rainfall, and that's resulted in that and regular dam releases from Nacimiento and San Antonio has resulted in high groundwater. And we used to have 10 feet between the bottom of our disposal ponds, we now basically have 4 feet between the bottom of our disposal ponds and groundwater. So higher groundwater, of course, has decreased the performance as there's less storage for the water to drain to. And our regional board regulator mentioned a couple of weeks ago that all the wastewater treatment plants along the Salinas River are experiencing this same challenge. The other challenge has been that the processing facilities ramped up their production for the holiday season, and a couple of these processing facilities exceeded their industrial wastewater allocation. So last Friday, after staff considering what can we do, is concluded there was immediate need to take action, including transporting treated wastewater to the city of Soledad's wastewater treatment plant. And in another effort was to increase the disposal capacity at the wastewater treatment plant by constructing a new disposal pond on the site of our phase 2 of the future industrial wastewater treatment facility, and do that on an expedited basis. Staff met with representatives of Taylor Farms last Friday. We also had a follow-up meetings Monday and Tuesday of this week, and asked them to do everything possible to reduce their water use. On Monday, Taylor Farm staff said they have shifted some production to their Guadalupe facility in Santa Barbara County, and also shifted to a processing facility in Mexico. And then the other thing that they're doing is looking at all ways to decrease water use during their processing efforts, because that leads to their, of course, industrial discharge. The staff report includes 2 exhibits that show the proposed disposal pond on the industrial wastewater treatment plant just east of the existing wastewater treatment plant. And once this pond is constructed, treated wastewater will be pumped from the last of the treatment ponds into this new pond for percolation, and the disposal pond will greatly improve the treatment plant's ability to dispose of the treated wastewater. It's important to mention that the new disposal pond, with some modifications, will be used in the future phase 2 industrial wastewater treatment plant. So this is sunk costs, not throwaway costs. We obtained quotes from 2 contractors to construct this new disposal pond and also install the piping to convey the treated wastewater to the new disposal pond. We're recommending that the city council authorize that we engage Swift Tectonics, as they provided the lower cost and are able to begin their work immediately. The other contractor indicated that they couldn't mobilize until after the beginning of the new year. To dispose of some of the wastewater, last Friday we hired a trucking company to pump treated wastewater at the wastewater plant and truck it to the city of Soledad. This is an effort that will move basically 50 to 70,000 gallons of treated wastewater a day to Soledad. So we anticipate trucking this treated wastewater to the city of Soledad until this new disposal pond is operational. Construction of the new disposal pond is expected to take 30 days. I put in the staff report, targeting January 17th. The regional board is, we've been communicating with them on a almost daily basis. They're aware of this. They completely support this. And they would modify our permit to be able to use this pond. They recognize the challenges that we have. They're very pleased with the progress we're making on the industrial wastewater system, and maybe basically this is not, part of that coordination and communication with the regional board staff. So the estimated costs, as outlined in the staff report, total $950,000. This is a conservative estimate, as the variables include looking at decreasing the effort for and the associated cost for trucking the treated wastewater to Soledad. And is there sufficient dirt on site to construct the pond? And the current approach is to grade 6 inches to a foot across the phase 2 of the industrial wastewater treatment facility and create the berms for this new pond. And we might be even taking some of the dirt that's been stockpiled from the industrial wastewater pipeline contractor, because they're stockpiling dirt. Let's see. I think that hits the highlights of my presentation. That concludes this presentation. Staff recommends that the city council authorize this emergency work in an amount not to exceed $950,000. And I'm ready for any questions.
Council? One question. So on the new pipeline that we're installing, we do have excess dirt that they're piling up somewhere so that it's easy enough accessible for the new company to come in, if needed, and haul that dirt to the.
So if needed, so what the industrial wastewater pipeline contractor is doing is, as they excavate the dirt, they're bringing it to this, they started at the very east end, because the pipeline contractor starts at the deep end and works uphill. And so they have started their construction 5 or so weeks ago at the very west end of the project. So as they pull the dirt out of the trench, it needs to be dried because of the high groundwater. And so they're basically working that soil. And there'll be some excess, but some of that soil that they've stockpiled as they're working it and drying it out is, they're going to be putting some of that back into the trench. But if we need dirt, that might be the first place that we look. The other comment is there's and this is out of a meeting today with the community center contractors. They may have some excess dirt, as a matter of fact, and we definitely look for free dirt on city projects as opposed to then paying for it. But that is a variable in this cost estimate. Is do we potentially have to buy some dirt? We hope that there's enough dirt on the industrial wastewater treatment facility that we can create this pond.
The other persons I'd suggest you contact as well is Caltrans. They are going to town on digging up the existing lines that go along the freeway,
Understood.
retrenching those lines that get dirt that fills them in, and they trench them and they pile up all that dirt next to the Chular exit.
They were working today.
Yeah, so just in case we need more dirt, I
Great.
think Caltrans is always looking to find a place to get rid of dirt.
Thank you.
So.
I'd like to also add, for us to also consider the Johnston Canyon landfill.
Great.
As a potential, spot to get their dirt.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mayor, if I can also just add that at the time that we prepared the report, we're considering 2 different funding sources, whether it's going to come out of the Water Enterprise Fund or the Sewer Impact Fund. And the reason why is because, as you know, it's all connected to our state revolving fund loan for the bigger project. So at the January 13 meeting, if you authorize this recommendation, we'll come back and let you know where the funding was directly pulled from and how that was covered.
Yeah,
But-
at that meeting, we'd ask you to ratify the financial component of this particular matter.
But we do have enterprise funds that we can get the money from, correct? Okay. I'll-
We also may have some additional source of income that we would be able to tap into as well. So, but we'll be able to discuss that in greater detail. But yeah, we're looking very carefully at what the available funding sources are, making sure that we don't step on our own toes to do that, and we'll report back to you and have you ratify it.
And-
Also just mentioned that, projects of this kind, you usually see some sort of CEQA determination, and in this particular case, because this is an emergency, it's exempt from the requirements.
That being said, is there potentially funding from at the state or federal level? This is an emergency. We've clearly identified it as an emergency. I mean, everything the staff's telling me it's an emergency, so.
We will always explore those options, although that would come afterwards because any grants or anything that the state or FEMA would give would come months later.
Right. well,
So,
understood.
so yes, I mean, if there's anything out there, we will explore it if there's an opportunity to recoup some funds.
So
The fact that other entities are finding themselves in the same position may lend some weight to some relief provided by the state as a result of this particular set of circumstances, the water table and so forth.
I mean, this isn't a fire, but it's almost worse than a fire because of the potential hazards that could create. Mr. Dobbins, you had something else?
I
to add?
wanted to mention regarding the storms of 2 years ago, we submitted a claim to FEMA and OES for $15,000, and it was work related to shoring up a berm adjacent to the wastewater treatment plant on city-owned property. And great partnership with, I'm gonna blank on it, the Keith Day Trucking Company, so submitted a $15,000 claim. I've gotten through FEMA and now I need to get through OES, and it's been 2 years to get a $15,000 claim.
Should we contact our Congresswoman Loughlin?
Maybe, and so that'll be an item at one of your January meetings, is certain actions that OES is asking us to take. And I thought, and bottom line is, I thought I was done with this. I thought I'd gotten through OES. I thought I got through I have gotten through FEMA. I thought I was nearly there. And then I got an email from OES with, we need this document, we need that document, and I'll be coming before the council to get those
In
items.
my last
approved.
conversation with her, she was very adamant about what can I do to help your community? So,
Whoever was here for that meeting, she told us that they have funding for, and I think she said infrastructure
no,
projects.
no, I met in the meeting with Chris Lopez. You remember that one, Carmen? So
Yeah.
please do. And if not, I'll reach out to her.
Our place. Neck of the woods.
So if there's no other more questions for staff, then I'll go ahead and open this up to the public for any public comment on this item. And again, see no rush to the podium. I will go ahead and ask Marisol. Marisol, do we have any comments via Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Thank you. Mary, comments via email?
No comments via email.
Fantastic. Bring it back to council for council either further discussion or action.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to consider approval of resolution number 2024-73, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales declaring an emergency pursuant to section 22050 of the Public Contract Code and section 316050 of the Gonzales Municipal Code, ratifying and authorizing emergency work at the city wastewater treatment plant in an amount not to exceed $950,000.
Second.
First, and I have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, me too.
No, thank you. Thank you. It's good for the record. I'm sorry, your name, her name was Megan. Megan, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Definitely appreciative of your ability to get together with the special meeting and very short notice, during the busy holiday season. So we're telling you that for the month.
Sorry about that. We'll try not to bother you again. Anything for the good of the public? I mean, staff, anything else to add? Happy holidays. Happy holidays to everyone and be safe out there.
And is this yours?
So. And motion for adjournment, I'll just say we are adjourned.
Yay.
Yay.